Good evening, everyone. So the Canva for Clubs program was designed strategically to give clubs who may not have full nonprofit status or may have had difficulty claiming nonprofit status the opportunity to have the free upgraded Canva Pro seat for their club. And the criteria behind that was that you have to, one, be an active Rotary or Rotaract club in our zone. So zones 33, 34, and you have to be a club in good standing. You have to have a current club public image chair listed in My Rotary. If you currently do not, or if they've quit since the beginning of the year, we won't check again for another couple of months. It's just a requirement to get that person in there and make sure that you have an active person appointed. We also required that you have an incoming, this was back at the beginning of the year, but we required when you originally applied that you have an incoming public image chair. So just continue to make sure that PI chair role is filled in My Rotary. We ask that you have some kind of active online presence. That does not require you to have a website. It does not require you to have a social media account, but it requires you to have one or the other, that you are utilizing this tool to publish out your content and data. And we ask that your club be active in the EPIC Award. And if you do not know what the EPIC Award is, I will briefly cover that at a little bit later time, but we feel like if you got the communications for Canva for Clubs, then you've also gotten the communications in regards to our EPIC Award and our monthly tasks. So make sure that your club continues to participate in that as you use this account. We also are not issuing any licenses to a club that already has a pro account. So we only have so many seats, and we hope that if you utilize this free tool, you're not taking advantage of it in lieu of another club that might possibly want to take that seat in the future. Once you get the account, there are a few things that we ask that you keep in mind. This particular license is 12 months. So each year we will go back out and say, hey, have you used it? Have you not used it? Are there any new clubs that want to participate? We will give you, so our current renewal period will start in April of this year. So we have an April to April calendar year. And the reason we set April as the date is because that's when the EPIC Award ends. And that's usually when you're starting to identify or we're starting to recruit your new club public image chair. So you'll get an email from us end of March, just reminding you that if you want to continue on using this Canva Pro account, that you're expected to reapply through the link the same way you did the first time. We also hope that as you utilize this tool, that you will work towards trying to get your own Canva Pro account if it's an option. I know with some clubs, maybe you're just not set up as a nonprofit and you don't have, for all of you on this call, if you're in the United States, it would be a 501c3. If you're outside of the United States, each of your jurisdictions have different rules and regulations for nonprofits, but we know that sometimes it's difficult to navigate that system. So as long as you show that you in good faith have attempted or are working towards, that will qualify for that. We also would tell you that if your club just does not participate in the EPIC Award at all this year, that would be grounds for us not to renew your license next year. And you are required to reapply. So I will say that if you in March, you're like, yeah, we already have one, don't assume you just get to roll that over the next year. We will qualify new people throughout the year. In addition to that, I'm going to go back one. In addition to that, I want to put this out there. Your club, when you fill out an application for Canva for Clubs, we ask your club to identify a club Gmail account. I've had numerous clubs apply and not get a actual Canva for Clubs seat because you're using your personal Gmail account or you're using someone in your club's Gmail account, and it's not an account that is generic to the club. So if you would please, if you have applied and you have gotten denied because you don't have a club Gmail account, it's quite simple. Just create a Gmail account for your club that your entire board has access to and go create a free Canva account. That's all we're asking you to do, is create something that can be utilized by multiple members of your club. Apply with that email address, and moving forward, we will approve your application in the process. And that has been the catalyst for a lot of applications not being approved, is because we've been getting somebody's personal email address as the Canva account to be used. The next thing of note is we're only issuing one license to your club. So if you have a generic club account, don't send us requests to add 16 other people from your club to that account, because that would take up the seats that we have available for other clubs across our zone. So it's just one license per club, one seat per club in our account. And if you have questions about that, we can answer those in just a bit. So at this point, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to Canva. And I'm going to let you guys look a little bit into how some of the questions we have received is, I got there. Now I got your invite. I accepted it. I don't know where to go find it. I don't know how to get to my pro account. And so I want to show you down here at the very bottom of this little diatribe when you go to the home screen. So let's go, I'm just going to go to what I would see when I log in. Down here at the very bottom, there is a button right here. And for me at the moment, there's an annotate. So I want y'all not to look at that, but I want you to look at this little button at the bottom, and it's got accounts and teams. And if I was logged into my personal Gmail or Canva account, so your club's generic Gmail account, and I went down here to this little button and I went over here to teams, I could click over here and I'm going to see Rotary Zone, the Rotary Zone team under my teams. And so that's how you're going to log in with that generic club Gmail account, and you're going to go to your teams list, and under your teams list, you're going to see where you can actually select that team that you have been added to. Once you get there, you're going to see a page that looks like this. So here's a really good example. I'll show you guys. I get these all the time. It says Rotary CPV wanted to invite Tanya. Well, Tanya is not allowed to have the account, but the Rotary CPV is allowed to account. So that's one of those examples where we already have issued one seat where we won't issue a second one. So in here, you're going to see that it's going to be a blank screen for each of you, where you can create all these different assets. At the top, there is a Your Design tab. So anytime you design something, or if there is a design that has been shared by a club as a resource for all clubs to view, then you're going to see it in this area right here. If you're looking for templates that you can edit quickly for your club, you're going to click on this template button up here, and you're going to see all kinds of templates. And say you guys really want to create a PowerPoint template, right? So PowerPoint presentation. Put it in the search bar, and you're getting all these different options of things that you can look for. If you want to create we're going to go to templates right here. If you want to create a social media, right, a presentation of social media, you want to just edit a photo, you want to create a video, you want to build a basic website, you have these quick buttons right here that will allow you to do things. If you have a custom size, you can do it right here. But we're going to go to social media because that's what a lot of people use this for. So once you click on that, you have options for all these different pre-created sizes, or you have templates you can use. So it's as simple as pulling up whatever you're looking for, however you want to do it. I will tell you guys that anything you can think of that you want to design, there's probably a template for in here, right? So say you wanted to do shirts. All of a sudden, here are t-shirt designs. Now, they're not on a t-shirt, but they're all created to fit on the front of a t-shirt, right? So you have all these t-shirt designs. Say you wanted to do cups. This gives you graphics, but there is like cup design. Here's some basic designs that can be put on top of mugs, right? So it's going to give you both like graphics to put on the mug, and it's going to give you pictures of mugs themselves. So you have all these different options of things that you can do in this system. In the brand center over here, under where, if you go down this book and it says brand, you will see that we've already built out the standard Rotary brand kit and the Unite for Good brand kit. This brand kit does not include your club's logos. So if you wanted to add your club's logos to this, you're not going to be able to do it under the brand center, but you are going to be able to do it under uploads. So you would go to your homepage and you would go to upload, and under upload, you can upload your files right here. And every time you come back to this screen, I won't be able to see your uploads, but you will be able to see your uploads. So you can put your club logo in this version of Rotary for you to use over and over again, even though it's not in the brand center. However, if you're creating a design, and you want to make sure you're using the right colors, you can still use the brand kit for the color palette right here. So it's going to immediately pull up when you use your color selection. So this is the nuances of using a group team template or a group team setting, but it can still work very efficiently for your group to make your designs. So there's the technical details behind the Canva for Clubs. And at this point, I want to open the floor for the four of you to ask any questions you might have about the specifics of how to use this. If you have no idea and or you have never used Canva before and you are agreeing and want to start from the beginning, then we will go through that conversation. It's just a matter of us making this tool efficient for you and useful for you at the club level. So let's start with opening the floor to see if anybody's got any specific questions.
So as I understand it, if I set up the account with a info@rotaryclubofsarasota.com email, which is kind of our generic email,
Yes, ma'am.
and I can invite members of my public image team to sign in. I'm not doing the primary design. My public image chair is doing that. She knows Canva. She couldn't make this tonight. But then others of us, somebody else is doing the website, somebody else is doing something else. We can access what she designs. Is that correct?
Yes, but you all have to use the info@ email address.
Right.
So as long as you all use the info@ login, you should all have access to whatever was created by that account. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I did send them all that account. It gets a little tricky when somebody new signs in and it requires a code because that info@ email only goes to myself and my club secretary, but we'll get them all in there.
Perfect. So I will say, I'm just going to select this, right? And say this is this template I just used. Say you like this and you're like, oh, so say we want to go, just making something up on the fly. You enjoy lunch. I'm going to put lunch here. I know this is maybe not what you would normally say, but say you decided you wanted to, you're a lunch club and you want to invite people to join you for lunch, right? And so you like this graphic, but you're like, man, this is green. It doesn't really showcase Rotary that well. But you're like, I can go in here and change the message and I can change the background color to yellow. And I can even change this font right here to black to this blue, right? And I can change, we'll go down here and we'll change this to blue. Just going to do this live time. And you have uploaded your club's logo, right? And so I don't have any upload files directly in this. I'll go in here and just kind of show you. This is a club in my district, so we're going to just upload that one. And so you have this logo file right here, and it's got a white background on it. So y'all bear with me for just a second. I'm going to go in here and add a logo, and there's this fun little tool that's available in the pro version called background remover that's right up here at the top. So I'm going to go put this background remover in here, and it's going to take the white out for me. And I wouldn't normally use this yellow on blue logo right here, but for the purpose of this presentation, I'm going to use that. And I'm just going to say, hey, I kind of like this graphic. I think this is cool. And maybe some other clubs would enjoy using this as well, right? So I'm going to just kind of put this right here, make it where I like it. And then I'm like, I want to make this available for other clubs in our team to use it. And the way you're going to do that is you're going to go up here to share, and you're going to put access level. So if you only want people in your club to access this file, you don't want anybody else to see it, you're going to leave it only you can access. But if you think this is good enough for other people to be able to use, you have two options. You can you can make anyone with a link have this. So if you wanted to share this with somebody else that has another Canva account someplace else, you just create anyone with a link. And you can make it can edit, can comment, can view. So you have share features, right? But if we want to share it with the team as a template or as like a file that people can do, you can have the whole team can access this now, and you can change this to where they can comment, they can view it. And if you make, they can view it, they have the ability to make a copy of it, or they can edit it. I'm just going to leave this as a can edit file. And we're going to just save it that way, right? So when I go to share when I go to publish this, anybody on this team should now be able to see this graphic, and you can download it and share it to your social media. And if you've got somebody that knows how to do social media well, you know that that's all you have to put on this graphic, and they can put all the details in the body copy of the graphic, right? Or you can have join us for lunch down here, whatever you want to put. But that's a real quick way to make a good social graphic that is shareable for anybody on this team. Virginia, do you have a question?
Thank you. I just put it in chat. We're kind of in and out here. We have small bandwidth in Jamaica. Very simply, that looks great. Very simply, I would like to know on behalf of Rotary Club of Negril, what steps exactly do we take so that we can get approved? Specifically, it is my understanding that it was our president who applied. She included 2 names, mine and another member, and probably her own. And I see now we're just getting 1 license. Fine, I understand that. At the time of her application, we were not actively using, though we have it, an info Gmail, which we are taking steps to do very, very soon. What steps do we take to get approval, please?
So there's 2 things we can do, but it sounds to me like the best thing for you to do is just go back to the link for the application and just reapply. Especially if you've already got an application out there that may have some discrepancies and someone else has already applied on your behalf. So you can, at the end of this presentation, I will put a slide up that has that information. But quite simply, you just need to go to the Rotary Zones 3334.org website and go to public image, and there's a link on there that's tools for clubs that has that application. But I can send that to you. If you want to put your email address in the in the chat, I can definitely send that to you when this is all over. Or Chad, if you have access to that, you can throw it in the chat so they can easily access it. That'd be great.
Thank you very much. And as secretary, I will, be happy to see that my club is participating in all of the right ways. We're dedicated to this. We have some social media presence. We want to move forward, and I thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Does anyone else have specific questions about how to use Canva or how to access this account or how to apply for this account?
I understand there are stock images, graphics, etc. Where are those on Canva?
Those are going to be located under your elements. So if you look right here under elements, it says search elements, right? And so there's lots of different things, sheets, tables, frames, grids, the whole 9 yards. If you were to, your first thing that you really need to do when you want to find a stock photo is know what kind of stock photo. So give me an example of something you would be looking for.
Let's see. A wine fest.
Okay. So maybe people drinking wine. Okay.
Yeah.
So here you have, it's going to tell you can get graphics, videos, photos, frames. So here's maybe you want to do a cartoonish graphic type thing. So these are related. Maybe you want to do a full video of something. So you have all these different, here's all your video options of people drinking wine. So maybe you're doing like a video overlay in some capacity. Maybe you just want a static photo. So here's a bunch of static photos of people drinking wine or celebrating in some kind of capacity. All of these are, you have access to these as a Canva Pro member to use however you need. And then there's also, I mean, it gets down to wine glasses clinking together for audio. So there's plenty of things that you can do in, if you wanted to mock up a wine glass because you wanted to send it off to have it produced with your logos and stuff on it, there are mock-ups for wine glasses in here. And then there's no shapes. It'll tell you, right, it'll get to a point and says that we don't have anything for that, but that's how you do that, is you just go to elements and then you go to the search bar and type in whatever it is you're looking for. I often see things like side of the road crash. I see a lot of times I see clubs looking for something specific to service, because we talk about being people of action, but man, we are so bad about getting people of action photos that we can use in our public image efforts. And so here you can get some generic stuff occasionally that makes sense. Like this is a beach pickup. This is the middle of the park pickup. This looks like it's on a lake. So there's plenty of different options depending on where you live and what is indigenous to your club's environment, if you wanted to do that. And then, I've also seen people do club or networking club. Seen people go in here and there's clubs like golf clubs, but I've seen a lot of people just go in here and try to find diverse groups of people, particularly membership month. If you're looking for club members, or you can put diverse group of people, pull up to different images. So depending on what you're attempting to do, you just got to think through what's the real photo you're trying to look for to apply in the background, or video, right? Like there's a lot of video clips that you can use if you wanted to do video in that capacity.
This is my club centennial. Anything regarding centennial?
Possibly, but I'm gonna caution you on one, spelling the word. Second, while I think about how to do that. So usually when you get into that kind of stuff, you get into brand related issues. And so you can have kind of centennial celebrations, and there's probably some elements behind that, but just think through making sure you're using your Rotary brand correctly. And then if there's something that speaks to your club, because using 100, or you shouldn't put the Rotary wheel on the 100. You don't use any of that kind of brand violation stuff, but just using that mindset of, I've seen some club do some really cool things by so it's 2025. So I've seen people go back and say, let's see if we can do pictures from 19. I don't know if I'm going to come up with anything on this.
I actually have a bunch of them we've had
Yeah.
500-year celebrations recently.
Yes.
And if you put your email in the chat, I can actually link you so you can see all the ones that have been approved by zone already.
But I mean, if you wanted to do like a bunch of women from 1925 in swimsuits 100 years ago, I mean, it depends. Your club's personality will dictate kind of how you celebrate that, right? So here's phone. If you're doing something, I've seen clubs do some pretty cool like graphic. Here's a looks like. Let me add a page here. So this looks like maybe a magazine cover from 100 years ago. So there's some stuff like this that you might be able to play off of and redesign and replicate that kind of gives you that vibe without getting into a lot of brand questions, right? So there's a lot you can do with 100 years without just writing centennial or 100 years up there in some way, shape, or form. And you can do that sometimes by just looking through pictures and seeing if it just stimulates some kind of creative thought in the process.
Miss
Anybody
Virginia,
else?
you wanted to go over something specific about tickets and flyer for an event. How can we help you with that, dear?
Thank you. Actually, what I did was in the chat, I said you had mentioned something about having a Canva cheat sheet or a little tutorial or something.
Yes, I did.
If there is any way that you could send that in email, that would be wonderful. That might be best. I've learned a lot by looking at this. I see I'm going to pick flyer and, stuff like, well, go right ahead. I know we're having an event coming up. It involves a flyer and tickets. But frankly, I'm more interested in just my club getting approved, and then I'll figure it out. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am. We can definitely create some basics. I will tell you that Canva is one of the better resources for the help menu. So there is tons of tutorials out there that tell you, matter of fact, you can go to Google and Google, how do I do this in Canva? And Canva has an entire YouTube page of how-to guides and videos to help you kind of support basically anything that you might want to design in that setting. But we can create a basic guide for you. Anybody else? Kim, are you trying to talk?
The rotary wheel and all of that. I'm sorry. I'm at my daughter's. I'm having surgery tomorrow, so I'm like on my cell phone. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. The rotary wheel and those branded items, are those in the district file under Brand Central, or are we having to create those from Rotary?
So what we can do for you is to create a brand kit that allows us to have the zone wheels in here, and the colors palettes are here. And if you want, I'll go to the brand kit. And we've created a Unite for Good. So there's also this brand kit on this side as well.
Right.
However, I don't have all of the club's logos, right? So what I suggest you do is, once you create them, is just upload them into your files. And if you name it correctly, right? So say you want to put your Rotary Club stand, right? So you're heavily active in this thing and you upload 200 files, 300 files. You can just really label it club logo if you wanted to, have it search club logo. So that way your club, it's not up to me to create all of your club logos. That way you can create your club logo based on the way your club logo is used. Because some clubs
did return address labels for our club for one of our, we send out 115 prizes as one of our 4th of July things. So I did the labels in there. I was like, well, I want to make sure I'm using the right wheel and all of that. And I didn't know if they were in a certain place.
You can always find your club logo. Just download it from Brand Center. So brandcenter.rotary.org, download your club logo. And then when you log into your account, you just upload it to your uploads, and it should the right one that your club uses. Because if you leave it up to me, I have no idea if you're called Sarasota Rotary Club or Rotary Club of Sarasota, right? Like I don't know how you refer to yourself. And so it's a lot easier for you to handle that with your club than to now. If you run into an issue, by all means ask us and we'll try to do it. For the benefit of this recording, I was asked specifically about creating a brand kit for Rotaract, and we will do that. So there will be a generic Rotaract brand kit in addition to the Rotary brand kit and the Unite for Good brand kit, so that Rotaract will have their specific colors and palettes and things of that nature as well. But if you will go, let me go back to the home setting, and I'll show you under the brand kit here. If you go to brand kit, we have the basic logo set up the way it should be, and we have your color palettes the way it should be, but we've also set up the titles and subtitles. Frutiger, which is the recommended font from Rotary International, has already been set up in here for you as a thing. If you scroll down through here, you will see that there are already 20 different images from Brand Center preloaded in here for anybody to use that are Rotary approved images. All of your graphic assets for the area of focus have been preloaded for your use, depending on how you want to use them. And the icons individually have been placed in there as well. So there are some assets that we have preloaded so that you can use them based on your needs for each of the different things. And if Rotary ever gets to the point where videos are allowed in the brand kit, then we will go in and upload some of the pre-recorded videos for use as well. They're just not part of the brand kit at this particular moment. We've even loaded the Rotary's brand voice recommendations so that if you use some of the AI tools in here to write content for you, it'll already have a knowledge and idea of what Rotary says its voice is. So everything that could be preloaded for use for this team has been preloaded at this point, except for the Rotaract color palette and Rotaract zone logos in the system.
Awesome.
And that's all will be under brand when you go in to build your stuff, except for your club logo, which is something you're gonna have to upload yourself. Pamela, you have your hand raised?
Yes, World Polio Day. World Polio Day is coming up in October. Anything preloaded for World Polio Day?
Not at this time, not in this particular format, but that is something that I can talk to our team about. We can definitely get the In Polio Now logos and content on there. And I know Sean Patty's on this call, so I'm pretty sure that I can probably work with him as he is an In Polio Now coordinator to work on getting maybe some preloaded World Polio Day imagery in here that's available to this group.
Who?
Sean, no,
Here, how do I shut this up?
You do have some on the Brand Center that's linked
Yeah.
in the chat as well. That's already there. You can download and just toss into Canva also.
I actually already have from the Brand Center in Polio Now and the World Polio Day graphics. We are doing an event with a local mellow mushroom who will do the advertising. So I've got to, she in the past has worked the two together. And are we okay doing that?
if you're working within center guidelines, then yeah, you're completely okay
And she's
for the most part.
she's paying for the advertising. So the primary image will be mellow mushroom, her local mellow mushroom and so forth. But you know, it's
So let me show you. I'm gonna just jumping out of Canva. I will show you really
no
quickly.
pints to, she's doing pints to end polio kind of thing. We've done it in the past, but you know, that's 5 years ago.
I
So I'm
can
going to show you one
show-
other tool real quickly. Useful links and tools. So there is a brand design review located under the Rotary Zone 3334 thing. Anytime you have a situation like that where you created something and somebody else has a logo on it and you just want to run it by somebody really quickly, you can quickly go to this brand design review and upload. Here's our guidelines, but you can upload your files here and just verify quickly if there is a glowing red issue that you need to be aware of going into that process. But you are more than welcome to anything you found on Brand Center that's there for In Polio Day and you want to add your logo to it in some way, you are more than welcome to upload those files to this Canva account and utilize it in that way, shape, or form. And if you really like what you did, feel free to share it with others for their consideration. So this is really designed to be a collaborative tool amongst clubs. We hope that you guys will use these resources, but we also hope you will collaborate amongst clubs to kind of help generate ideas and graphics and resources. Anything else? Sorry for that pop-up that I clicked on the wrong screen.
Well, this is all very helpful. And I hope I can use it, but I have other people who are volunteers who also are used to doing things their way. So It's even to get them to pay attention to the brand information when they've been doing stuff for years and they're it's not as easy as it would seem.
We all have those, Pamela. We all have those.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was about to say, at the end of the day, I have been on the zone public image team for 3 years now, and at the district level for multiple years, and I don't. That's a similar. That is not an isolated issue. That is a similar issue across clubs, and at the end of the day, it's just getting people to pause for a second and go, do I need to run this by somebody, or am I just doing what I want to, or hey, I'm going to pull this out of my shoebox from 25 years ago and go make copies of it. I mean, like there's people that do that, and we just ask for best efforts, not 100. I mean, I'm sure Susan and our zone team would love it if we had 100% compliance across the board at all times. But if we did, we would not need to be in these roles. So, all right, guys. I'm gonna to throw back up one graphic really quickly. Maybe I'm gonna stop sharing really quickly with you guys and then throw back up one graphic that just has a link on it. At the end of the day, and make sure that everyone has access to our new email address. Yeah, so if you guys can see this right here, this is the email address. Maybe. Well, it just does not want to present in full mode, but this is the email address for any questions that you run into after this evening. And this right here is the link to the application. So Virginia, this Chad hopefully put this in the chat for you to be able to easily copy and paste. But basically, you're just going to go to the public image page on the new website and look for the tools you can use, Canva Pro for Clubs. And that'll give you all the information that is necessary to reapply for this account and make sure that we have your new info at email address. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight.